Welcome to my build review of the HELLER MiG-23 Flogger in the scale 1:72. I found this kit at the charity shop, so it was really cheap, and even though I'm not really interested in the MiG-23, I picked it up because it was so cheap. As I found out, the mold of this kit dates back to the year 1970, really old kit here, and it comes with two paint schemes. You can choose between Russia and Poland. I chose the Russian version, and what's so special about this build is that it's the first time that I painted a model with an airbrush. Yes, I finally got myself a pretty cheap airbrush with a compressor, and it worked pretty fine. But even though I cleaned it thoroughly, the thread of the nozzle broke the other day, and instead of purchasing another nozzle that would cost me more than the airbrush itself, I just got myself another airbrush. It's from a German brand and it works really fine with the compressor of the first airbrush. I don't want to go into detail too much here, but the first phase of my airbrushing experience was mostly frustrating because of the problems with my first airbrush, and also finding the right texture of paint and thinner wasn't that easy in the beginning. However, as you will see, the outcome is still quite satisfying. I used the light grey as a base color for the main parts and assembled them. And again, I tried to use my fine panel liners to accentuate the panel lines before spraying this light blue on the underside of the plane, but the panel liner does not really shine through. Therefore I sprayed the panel lines on the other side with black color. Many of them are raised panel lines, so the result wasn't that satisfying either. The MiG-23 comes with a pilot that I tried to paint as detailed as possible with my finest brush. Furthermore, a lot of work went into the cockpit, as you can see here. I used masking tape on the cockpit glass, which worked quite good, and that scratch you see here on the glass was already there when I bought it. For the camo scheme I went creative and just used the colors I had to create this fictional livery, and I began with the lightest color, which was this khaki brown. Furthermore, I used green, light olive and NATO olive mixed with a little bit of black. Masking was pretty time consuming, mostly because of the borderline to the light blue on the bottom, but it worked really good. I had to do a couple of repair spraying sessions until I was satisfied, but all in all I'm totally digging my new airbrush. For me it's a huge step forwards, because I was solely using brushes before. So after I was satisfied with the paint, I used Revell's weathering powders to add some rust and weathering effects, mostly at the bottom of the MiG. Then I applied the Decals, which was no problem at all, even though this kit is very old. I also liked the contrast of colors with my color scheme. The next step was the landing gear. Painting and assembling it was no problem at all. I even added a thin wire to get more details. For the landing gear base I had to open them again because I closed them to get a smooth varnishing while airbrushing it. The main landing base consists of 4 parts each, so I had to cut apart this one part, and of course I mutilated myself with a fresh blade. However, the landing gear turned out quite impressive, so I moved on to the engine nozzle and air-to-air missiles. Then everything took a bad turn. While I was already taking photos of the finished MiG, the landing gear collapsed. I tried everything from more glue, metal clamps to drilling holes, but the only thing that worked was melting plastic over the affected area. It looked horrible, but now that this side of the landing gear was rock solid, the other one collapsed and I was close to losing my nerves. I was finally able to fix it with super glue, but it still looks terrible. As a result, my plan for this MiG is to create a crash landing diorama out of it, so I can add it to my damage and destruction modeling group on Facebook after I finished my Black Hawk Down diorama. There's a video about the Black Hawk Down diorama on my YouTube channel, and a link to the group is in the description of the video, so feel free to join. At the moment we stand at more than 3,200 members. All in all, I have to say that I'm really glad that I finally got myself an airbrush. The thin layers of paint just make a much smoother surface on the models, and even though cleaning it can be a pain in the ass, I really enjoyed using it. Even though I'm no fan of the MiG-23, I have to say that it looks badass, and I also like the sweep wings. As I said, the next step will be creating a crash diorama out of it. I already bought a wooden frame and I also have some plaster and sand left, but that will probably take me some more time. Until then, give me some feedback on my MiG. What do you like? What can I do better? And how do you solve problems with the landing gear? Also check out my other modeling videos and feel free to join the Damage and Destruction modeling group linked in the description of the video. Thank you all for watching, I hope you liked the video, bye.